Zephaniah means to hide, to protect, and like God's purpose for choosing Zephaniah, he prophesied during a time of idolatry and a coming judgment, meaning God was protecting a faithful people and hides them in a time of trouble. Some key scriptures in Zephaniah are Zephaniah 1, 2, and 3, Zephaniah 3 and 8, and Zephaniah 3 and 15, which I will probably read a little of that later. They highlight the sovereignty and the seriousness of God's judgments while also offering hope for restoration and renewal for the faithful. Zephaniah and Habakkuk are the last of the two minor prophet books written before King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon when he attacked with his attack on Jerusalem during 605 BC. We would like to know who was Zephaniah. He was one of the last four minor prophets in the Old Testament. And we only call him minor, not because he didn't have much to say, or not because his message or his prophecy was any less important than any other prophet, but he was minor because Zephaniah only has three chapters in his book, and his message was a mighty message. This message was not the first time that they had heard this message. It wasn't the first time that was prophesied, and it probably wouldn't be the last time that we will hear this prophecy. His message, his message from God focused on judging sin, preserving a remnant, and promising future restoration, and was a foundational message in Hebrew prophecy way before Zephaniah came on the scene. Zephaniah, he prophesied during the reign of King Josiah before Nineveh fell and predicted the coming Babylonian judgment. Now, the four major prophets who all delivered this same message of judgment, a remnant, and restoration before Zephaniah was Amos, Hosea, Isaiah, and Micah. And I'll briefly speak about what they prophesied on. In Amos 5:14 and 15, Amos prophesied and told the northern kingdom to seek God and not evil, and that the Lord God of hosts may be gracious to the remnant of Joseph. In Hosea 14:4-7, Hosea prophesied about the judgment on Israel's adultery, yet promised that God would heal them and that they would again dwell in his shadow. In Micah 2:12 and Micah 4:7, Micah rebuked Jerusalem for sin, predicted its destruction, as well as promised to gather the remnant of Israel and restore them like sheep in a fold. And finally, in Isaiah 10:20-22 and Isaiah 11:11, Isaiah preached many times that a remnant of Jacob will return after destruction. And in Isaiah 4:2-3, he spoke about the survivors would be holy. And Judah's continued idolatry. Second. With Judah's continued idolatry, rebellion, and total sin against God leads us to Zephaniah's message, which we all have heard many times, the day of the Lord, as in Amos 5:18 and Joel 1:15. It describes both God's judgment on sinners and the salvation of the faithful. All of these messages were repeated and prophesied from the time of the northern kingdom's fall, leading to the decline of Judah.